New format. Another chance for potentially my baby Gren Maju to shine. So this is just going to be a quick deck profile for the new quote-unquote Yu-Gi-Oh! Genesis format. No ban list. Cards are assigned a point system. Sounds like something ripped straight out of Magic the Gathering's Canadian Highlander, because it is. This is going to be a deck list that's just going to be based off of the standard 100 points threshold for Genesis. That's what this Genesis toggle here is for, by the way, and this was added. I just got home and this got added in, and the format was created like not even 2 days ago. But anyways, on to the deck profile. So we're running 3 Gren Maju Daiza. I might bump this down to 2, but for now I'm still going to try it at 3. Eater of Millions, I'm running this at 2 probably for the first time ever. I'd usually just only keep this at 1. But just to actually respect the point thresholds, the point limits, I had to make some changes. 3, Gizmek Erochi. Probably my favorite card in the Gren Maju deck still. Triple Alpha Master of Beasts. Yes, this is basically just Gren Maju and then all the best level 8s you can just put into a single pile. And we call it a deck. So yeah, you special summon this. It's been like such a long time since I played this, but this is also, by the way, non-targeting bounce. You target your own monsters to return to your hand, and then you return an equal number of monsters your opponent controls to the hand, non-targeting. Yeah, you have to target only your own beast, beast warrior, and a winged beast, but I mean, worst case scenario, yes, Alpha can always just bounce itself to at least guarantee you get to bounce one monster. And because I was just scrambling to fill out like 9 or 10 more deck slots, Regenesis, mainly because these are some easy to summon level 8s under the right circumstances. I mean, we have here like a 2500 defense monster, so if this is in my hand... Okay, but then again, if I do summon this, I put 2500 attack on my board, and then, depending on what my opponent has, I may or may not be able to summon this, so I didn't think this through. I kind of just put the Regenesis package in at, like, the last minute. Didn't know what else to put for, like, 9 of the deck spaces. I mean, only, like, the, like, normal spell of Regenesis. Yeah, the card's name is Regenesis. Only that card in the entire archetype actually has a point cost tacked onto it. The rest of these are basically free. So that's why I'm running Regenesis without the Regenesis spell. Or better yet, if I have one of the other Regenesis names sitting in my hand, I'll just reveal that instead to summon this. Search up one of the other Regenesis cards, I could search up one of the other monsters to put on the field. Or maybe also just the trap card to slow down my opponent and just get free resources while doing so. Send 1 Regenesis monster from deck to the graveyard for cost, to Bukumu one of your opponent's monsters. Okay, you can even special summon like all your Regenesis monsters from your graveyard, or even banishment, or hand. Yeah, that's the second effect, I kind of forgot about this. You can only use 1 effect per turn and only once that turn. That I don't mind. So yeah, 3 Regenesis Archfiend, 1 of the Dragon, 1 of the Sage. This is an omni negate if you have another Regenesis monster to send for cost from hand or field. This is a level 8. I cut the Warrior. That's a level 7, and its effect isn't like quite as remarkable as Sage's. 3 Regenesis Code, special summon a Regenesis monster from deck. Lock yourself out of special summoning from the extra deck, but depending on like the kind of hand I open up, I might not need to do that too badly. And yes, the 1 Regenesis Birth that I already mentioned. I don't feel like really bothering. I'm not really playing too hard into this archetype at all, so I'm only going to play this at 1. I'm still running a ton of level 8s, so 3 trade-in. I had to get creative with the back row nukes. It's not really like actually destroying the cards in the opponent's back row, it's just returning them to the hand, and then me trying to score like a 1-turn kill before they get to set them back and try and use them again. I think Heavy Storm costs like 25 points or something. Harpy's Feather Duster costs even more than that. Lightning Storm probably also costs like 20 points a pop. So, just so I can stay under 100. I'm settling for, yeah, 3 copies of Hey, Trunade. And other cards that just can help me, like, destroy my opponent's boards, and also play into the whole, like, banish a bunch of cards to make Gren Maju huge. Gordian Slicer. I see myself pretty often just targeting 2 cards to just put back into the hand. This card can't even be negated any way, shape, or form. It still could be responded to, but it cannot be negated outright. I can just banish 12 cards out of my extra deck, return 2 of my opponent's face-up cards to their hand, which would just make Gren Maju when I summon it gain like 4,800 attack. Yeah, that's pretty much obvious as to why this is here, and it hasn't been in any of my other decks. 2 Lava Golems. I know this has 2,500 defense, so it does play nicely with the Regenesis cards. If I'm going first, and or I don't need to tribute over 2 monsters, we'll just, yeah, discard Lava Golem to trade in. It's a level 8. And then, yeah, before this Genesis toggle was added, before this feature was added, I put all of the cards that actually had point costs. I put them all, like, next to each other, and the cards that were free all, like, at the top. So my only hand trap that I actually had room for, in the main, 3 Fulos. Yes, we're playing the standard danger package of 3 Bigfoot, 3 Thunderbird. For some reason, these cards cost 3 a pop, so that's 18 of my 100 points just taken up by the dangers. Of course, they're level 8s, and they even have, like, discard effects tacked onto them, so it also synergizes nicely with the trade-in if you want to guarantee a danger discard. This to destroy a face-up card upon being discarded. This to destroy a set card upon being discarded. And not to mention, they're really easy to summon, but there is, like, a luck factor involved. Let's just say, especially if you're going first and they just snipe all your dangers, you're probably losing the game. And this right here is 40% of my deck capacity. The 2 copies of Pot of Desires. With the cost especially at 20, I think it would be, like, just mathematically and logically incorrect to run this at 3. I'd be just kneecapping myself further. I'd have to take out, like, several cards with, like, a low point cost. Or just the 1 copy of Zeus I have in my extra deck to still not necessarily always see Pot of Desires every time I want it. And then there's just the greater risk of Pot of Desires and I draw into more copies of Pot of Desires, which, that's never good. Alright, so for the extra deck we have Dingirsu, Orcus of the Evening Star. We climb into with that if we want to do like a Zeus climb, Pain Gainer, 7 Sins, Zeus. I still do this every once in a while. This you summon it with 2 materials. You use Dingirsu with the 2 materials as material to overlay into this. You could also just destroy a bunch of your opponent's monsters if their defense is low enough. And then you overlay onto your rank 11 Dark, which is this, your 7 Sins. If you didn't detach a material here at all. And by the way, this is a 4,000 attack beat stick. You can attack over pretty much anything with this. But if you just go overlay into, say, Zeus after all that, like, exceeds overlaying the Zeus climbers, I call it, you'll have, like, a 5 material Zeus. Or you could even just destroy a bunch of your opponent's monsters with a Pain Gainer. Still have 4 materials on this, so you can still, like, nuke their board twice, potentially. Because I was just looking for all the best rank 8s that I know of that actually have no deck cost, because I used up a good chunk of it on just the 2 Desires. So the Fire King, rank 8, that destroys all of the monsters on the field upon being summoned, can also destroy a spell or trap. This one can just lock people out of special summoning monsters from graveyards. That might come up. It's like one of the better rank 8s that I still have available, like, in Genesis format with, like, the deck cost. I think Zombie Vampire costs like 50 or something, which is ridiculous. It might as well just be banned at that point. Number 23, Lancelot. You can negate anything. Granted, you have to respond to, like... Unfortunately, you have to respond to the first, like, other card effect that is activated. You can't, like, just hold this for, like, the best thing to negate. And then you can't really play anything else yourself while this is out, because you'll just negate your own card. And you don't want to be doing that. But ideally, let's just say I get a really big Gren Maju, and I just think my opponent might have 1 card and 1 card exactly to stop, like a 10,000 attack Gren Maju, say. I just go make Lancelot with some spare level 8s, and then if they do have only like 1 answer to the Maju, then Lancelot just negates it, and then I can just swing for game. Basically insurance that I can just get like a big Gren Maju to swing for lethal. 2 level 8 monsters, I didn't really read too much into this Galaxy Eyes Tachyon Dragon's effect. I can just overlay it into like a 4,000 attack Galaxy Eyes full armor Photron Dragon, who can just once per turn detach a material, destroy a face-up card the opponent controls. So any 2 level 8s I can just, again, that's another way to go into a 4,000 attack monster. Okay, this was like before I cut the Regenesis Warrior. Now I'm gonna have like absolutely no way to summon this. Might as well not even be here anymore. Okay, and then these just have to do with the Ultimate Slayer in my side deck. These are just Ultimate Slayer targets. When sent to graveyard, destroy a face-down card on the field. When sent to graveyard, negate the effects of a face-up card on the field. When sent to graveyard, return a face-up card opponent controls to hand. When sent to graveyard, draw a card. I was gonna run Elder Entity Entis that can pop any card on the field when it is sent to the graveyard by any means, but that had a deck cost of 7 and I was already like at capacity, so instead I had to settle for Fossil Warrior Skull Knight if I want to get rid of a fusion and also want to destroy another monster on the field. Banish this card from graveyard, doesn't even care how it got there, to target one monster on the field, destroy it. And then, of course, Zeus. I don't believe I need to explain Zeus. But I do need to, like, figure out, like, a 15th card for the extra deck. I think for now I'm just going to grab a second copy of Dingirsu. This 15th card, honestly, I think it could be anything that's not a pendulum or a link.